Welcome back, everybody. Sports Federation TV, and of course we talk about the sports in the Western Cape. My name's JP Nordier. I'm your host this evening, and well, we've had a jam-packed show already, from drum majorettes to football in Manenberg, and of course Western horse and reining. So it's been a lot of fun. Now, over the last couple of days, a couple of weeks, in fact, we've been talking a lot about table tennis. Table tennis world championships. The actual world championships is in Cape Town. So if you've been watching for the last few weeks, you will know that it's happening at Grand West as we speak, and there's still a couple of days left for you to get down there and make sure that you see some of the world's best athletes in action. With me as in studio now is Joe Karim, is the president of the South African Table Tennis Association, not the Cape Town, but the South African Table Tennis Association. Joe, welcome to Sports Federation TV.
Thanks for having me. Good to be back in Cape Town.
I must say, you're looking tired.
No, look, I think it's going to be a long 10 days for us. We are, the show's on the road now. We've had some good games already. In fact, today we saw a very tough match between Czechoslovakia and Japan.
Yeah.
And they gave Japan a run for their money, a huge scare, and finally came through 3-2.
Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second, but I also want to introduce our other guest this evening. Graham van As is one of the coaches of the South African team. Graham, welkom op Sports Federasie Televisie.
Dankie vir die geleentheid wat u vir ons gee.
Ek sien die president het jou uitgesleep saam.
Sonder dat ek weet.
Sonder dat jy weet.
Dit was ek surprise, maar is goed om hier te wees.
Nou, jy is tafeltennis afrigter vir een van die spanne.
Ja,
jy is een van die afrigters.
Ons is eintlik 3 coaches wat saam is.
Ja.
Ons al 3 neem deel. Daar is die seunspanne en selfs die dogterspanne. Ek help met beide.
So wat is die ouderdomme daar op die oomblik wat deelneem nou by Grand West?
Die jongste van tussen 14 en selfs 18. Die jongste speler van ons is 14 jaar oud. Sy is die tweede jongste in die toernooi. En dan gaan dit tot 16, 17 en 18.
En hierdie ouens het baie gepractice?
Ons het baie gepractice. Ons het selfs 4 keer 'n week gepractice, middags en aande. Saterdag as dat tyd is, dan speel ons.
Joe, just tell us a little bit about the organization that goes into this. I mean, a world championship, you've got all these international teams coming to Cape Town, South Africa, one of the world's greatest sporting destinations. You're at a very fancy casino, but the international standard is set, obviously, by your international body. And you have to live up to those expectations. It must have been months of preparation and planning, and of course it started with a bid.
Yeah, well, it's not just living up to it, it's exceeding it. And so you always have people coming to Cape Town, their own expectations, what Cape Town means to them. And never, as you know, as a sports leader, when you go and bid for something, you tend to oversell. And with that overselling, the expectation rises. And clearly when people come here, the expectations of what they're going to see, what they're going to experience, is something that becomes a challenge for you to meet. I must say that because of the location, the venue, it lent itself to making people comfortable, letting us fit into it. Obviously, a venue like this also has its own challenges, because your volunteers could disappear, and then you find them later on.
Did you have to go on a whole volunteer recruitment strategy to make sure that you got enough people for? I mean, you need a big team to organize this.
We needed a big team, but obviously table tennis is fairly strong in the Cape. So the bulk of our volunteers comes from Cape Town.
Yeah.
Then we've also, to ensure that the other affiliates of the SCTTB is not left out of the loop, we've also pulled in volunteers from the other associations as well. So we've got people from Northwest, Limpopo, KZN in here as well.
So that's quite important, to make sure that the other provinces also experience.
You want that legacy to be felt by everyone.
Yeah.
You want the experience to be felt, and you also want the learnings to be shared.
Yeah.
Because it's pointless having an event such as this, and when you go back to your home, the next time you host an event, you go back to having it at a low level. We would like to maintain the kind of presentation that we've got now. If you come into the arena, it's just a sight to behold, with the 12 tables.
In fact, we've got a photograph. Let's quickly take a look at this. There we see it now up now, folks. I mean, this looks, really, it looks like something out of you know, out of a top drawer. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful setups. This is how what I was going to say is it looks like something out of the Olympics. Fantastic. Just talk us through the setup there. You've got 8, 12, how many?
We've got 12 tables. The two middle ones with the red strip around it. That red surround there is what they refer to as the show courts.
Right.
So those two are bigger than all the other courts. So you've got two big courts. It's normally 9 by 18.
Yeah.
And then the other courts, the 10 courts, are 7 by 14
meters.
Courts. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the players use the entire area to play. Obviously, they move.
Yeah.
And so, with the show courts, most of our recorded matches will be off the show courts.
Okay.
It is a specially designed A-frame, ideally lit up if we had.
Where does all that equipment come from? You mentioned to me before, while we were talking off air, about the fact that your floor actually had to be shipped in. So that equipment doesn't look to me like you can go down to Sportsman's Warehouse and buy it.
No. We shipped the flooring was sponsored by a company called Stag.
Yeah.
They are one of the flooring suppliers for the International Table Tennis Federation.
Did any of that equipment have to come from overseas, or did you?
All of our equipment came from overseas.
Everything came. Okay.
The flooring will then be donated to the South African Table Tennis Board. We'll obviously have a challenge in terms of how best to utilize it, because we don't have fixed premises as such.
Storage facilities.
So that becomes a new challenge on its own.
Because that's a big space.
It's massive. That is just the playing area.
Yeah.
We have the practice area, which is the same in size.
Yeah.
And that's in the Sun exhibits on the other side of the arena.
Yeah.
So we've got two massive areas with that flooring. And obviously we would need to see how best we utilize it with respect to some of the clubs who do have some facilities. But at the moment we've decided to roll it up, to use it for our essays, but more important also to ensure that when we do give it to, let's assume it's one of the Cape Town municipal facilities, that it's going to be there, it's going to be utilized, and table tennis benefits out of it.
And from there, you can really, I mean, I'm one of these guys that I keep thinking about what comes next, you know. But I keep thinking, if I had a table tennis floor like that, you could really build some fantastic, call it commercial plans around it. You could put it somewhere and have display events, and you can have the South African Championships there, and the All Africa Championships, and you can really use it as a drawing card.
Well, at the moment, that's part of the discussions, is to find, to be able to persuade municipalities to give us a piece of land, to build a facility, and to have a dedicated table tennis facility.
Where would you like it to be?
Well, in my house. As close as possible to me. But I think it's...
You want it in the Western Cape Town, or where do you think is the best place?
Look, at the moment, Cape Town's best place.
All right. Okay, so, and you need a municipal facility for that? All right.
Because
right, folks, if you're watching the show right now, did you hear what we just said? We need a municipal facility for a massive table tennis space, because we've got a World Championship floor sitting in Grand West at the World Championships at the moment. So any municipal, city of Cape Town, if you feel like writing a check, come and get involved. We've got a table tennis organization here that needs a massive facility.
Well, I think maybe the Western Cape Sports Confederation should build that facility. You can have your offices in there.
I like the way you're thinking.
And have our flooring there. We will entertain wrestling and all the other stuff.
And multi-sport.
As long as we are the prime occupants, and that will be great.
All right, let's talk to Graham.
That's a deal.
I like the way that you're thinking. We should be doing a lot more of this, where the other smaller sports, or when I talk smaller sports, I'm talking about the non-big top 8, who is always on television, where they band together. Table tennis, wrestling, judo, karate, and so on. Archery. There's 50, 60 other sports there. And if they work together, you can do incredible things. Let me talk to Graham for a second. Now, Graham, jy het nou hierdie opportunity gepraat. Ons praat hier so in die Kaap van social cohesion. Ne?
Ja.
Nou, wat Jonah vir ons verduidelik het, is die feit dat, jy weet, as 'n wêreldkampioenskap hier so, dis nou 'n kans waar die coaches van, jy's nou een van die coaches van die Suid-Afrikaanse span. Dis 'n opportunity hier so vir julle om van mekaar te leer, te ontmoet, en nog baie julle skills te kan develop deur mekaar saam te werk.
Ja, dit is eintlik 'n voorreg om met ander coaches saam te werk. Ek het baie coaches ontmoet en tegnieks gepraat met hulle en ons kan sien dat ons verskil van mekaar. Maar dit is baie van ons wat leer van dit.
Ja.
En die tegniek wat hulle het is baie goed. En wat ons maak met dit die ondervinding wat ons kry,
Ja.
gaan ons huis toe en ons gaan net vorentoe. En ek dink soos
Het julle enigiets daai soort van formeel gedoen al waar julle gesê het okay, al die coaches gaan saamkom en ons gaan nou praat en notas maak en
in Western Province ja, het die coaches bymekaar gekom
Ja.
en praat ons oor tegniek en so. Elke klub het sy verskillende tegnieke wat hulle bymekaar bring, een saal en dan praat ons daaroor. Maar ook as ons een venue kan hê waar ons 24/7 kan speel. Soos ons praat van ons het 'n vision eintlik ook.
ja.
Om borde 24/7 dat's eintlik waar
Ja.
ons nie elke dag kan speel nie. En dit is 'n probleem om elke keer te kyk waar kan ons 'n bord opsit en te speel. So as daar 'n venue is vir 24/7, ons spelers sal beter vaar.
Wel die ding is om 'n borg te kry moet ons televisie hê. Daai is die belangrike ding. Joe, of course, SuperSport have been supporting you guys as well. You got some highlights packages coming up. It's been running on Blitz. I mean, that must also be good for the awareness for table tennis and the perception of table tennis.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, last night's episode on Blitz was already well received in Nigeria, for instance,
Yeah,
because Nigeria is also one of the top table tennis playing nations.
yeah.
I don't think people understand the size of table tennis.
Yeah.
We have 52 affiliated members on the continent to the ITTF. There's 222 members affiliated to the International Federation. So those are 222 countries,
Of which 52 is in Africa.
of which 52 is
So
in Africa.
25% of all the table tennis teams in the world is on the African
Yep.
continent.
And so there needs to be I think that it was just time is for us to get it back on
Yeah.
SuperSport that I think probably draws in the entire African continent, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah.
And to hear people from Nigeria phoning and saying, "Hey guys,
Yeah, I saw you on TV.
we saw Sagan."
Well, you might get a few phone calls tonight, you know that.
No, well, oh yes, I'm sure you'll be going to Nigeria as well. but seriously speaking, Sagan Toriola, who's the only African player who's played in 7 Olympics, is with a team here, and the guys are just raving.
7 Olympics.
Yep, and
Wow,
so
that's
he's a legend on the African continent.
See, we never talk about this kind of stuff. People think about Michael Phelps. Whenever you hear this guy's 7 Olympics, I mean, how old is he?
He's now 42.
And he's been competing, so probably competing since he's 15
Yeah.
years old.
And then the other Nigerian, Aruna, has just
Yeah.
made it to the quarterfinals of the World Champs. So you can see the growth and development of table tennis on
Yeah.
the continent. And a country such as South Africa, if table tennis flourishes, it bodes well for the full development of table tennis on the continent,
Yeah.
because the North is well established. And the hope is that South Africa would lead the total establishment of table tennis in the bottom end.
Are you, as the president of Table Tennis South Africa, are you satisfied with the growth of table tennis, the transformation aspect? Where do you feel you've done really well, but where do you feel maybe there's a bit more work to do?
Look, I think we killed transformation. We were the only, well, let me not say only, I'll start by saying one of the only,
Yeah.
who at the time of unification implemented a quota system. And that quota system was a total 50-50. Starting with the Olympics with Cheryl Roberts, and
She's, of course, been very active and progressive in transformation.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Cheryl was our female athlete, and we had Louis Botha as our male athlete.
Yeah.
And those were the two that went to the Olympics, to
Yeah.
Barcelona. Our team that went to China was 50-50. And at the time of unification, so-called white sport was at a higher level than non-racial sport at the time. Today, if you look at our team now, in this current junior team, we have 1 white female. And so we're really not concerned about who makes the team anymore. And what we do have is we've been able to reach out in areas that were at the time of unification had no representation, such as Limpopo, for instance,
Yeah.
and Mpumalanga. We have a youngster in our under 15 national setup who comes from an area called Monsterless, and very few people would know where that is.
Well, I have no idea where Monster
And
is.
that's in Limpopo between Groblersdal
Yeah.
and Jane First. And there is just
I don't know
nothing
where
out
those
there.
two are either.
Exactly. I think when it comes to transformation, I think we okay.
What's one of your things you're most proud of, apart from having the World Championships here in Grand West right now?
I think the makeup of our organization, the governance of our organization, and the makeup of our organization.
Just tell us quickly about the next couple of days at Grand West. From when to when? How much does it cost? People want to go watch. Is it? What will they see?
Yeah, look, we've made a special arrangement with our clubs and selected schools, where when they come in, they'll get complimentaries coming in. But the cost is 8 Rand for seniors per day, 40 Rand for juniors, and they can get tickets either at CompuTicket or at the ticket office at Grand West.
Yeah. Starting, it's now started.
It's on.
Yeah. When does it finish?
The team event final will start on the 3rd.
Yeah.
At around, I think it's 4 o'clock.
So the team, that's actually Saturday morning. Tomorrow morning, folks. So if you're watching right now, it's of course Friday night. So tomorrow morning, in other words, now, if you're watching the repeat, Saturday morning, the team event starts now.
And the 7th is the finals of the individual events, all day long, starting at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
I think.
What's the last day? Which the last day of the
7th.
event? 7th event.
Yeah.
So up until the 7th of December, folks, if you want to go and watch the World Table Tennis Championships, 7th of December. So you got from the 3rd, well, in fact, from now, if you're around, all the way through the 7th to go and watch it. And Joe, just quickly, what will people see there? When you're talking about the World Champs, we're talking about the best athletes in the world that are here in Cape Town.
Yeah, I was going to. When people look at under 18, we say we're looking at our future champions.
Yeah.
The makeup of the players here, some are already in the top 10 in the world in either men or women. So we're looking at the champion table tennis players of the world. And I think if we haven't seen international table tennis yet, this is the place to come. You're going to see fast, aggressive table tennis with a ball that you will find difficult to follow most of the time.
Graham, let's just quickly, from a team perspective, tough teams that you guys are going to be coming up against over the next few weeks. Who are the guys you want to watch out for?
China, Japan, allemaal die European teams, allemaal sterk. So jy kan nie eintlik sê, maar Japan en China.
So daai is die ouens vir wie julle moet watch.
Dat is die beste.
Alright, luister Graham, best of luck vir julle en ek weet julle het baie hard gewerk om hier uit te kom.
Dankie.
En ek seker ons gaan daai ouens 'n les leer hierso.
Nee, ons gaan baie leef van dit. En volgende keer,
He's fired.
En volgende keer gaan ons hulle wys.
Joe, Graham, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure having you guys here. Best of luck at the event. It's a world championship. You know, no matter how it goes, you guys have to be proud of the fact that you got a world championship to Cape Town, South Africa to begin with. So good luck.
Thanks, JP.
Here we go. Right, folks, well, there you go, table tennis. Now, if you have half a chance, you must absolutely make sure that you get down to Grand West Casino from today. Well, it's been running for a couple of days, but you've got until the 7th of December. And really, if you ever want to see world-class athletes, then this is an event for you to get to, because you're going to struggle to, well, you're not often do get an opportunity to see some of the best athletes in the world. So get down to Grand West from now through to the 7th of December and go and watch the World Table Tennis Championships. Well, on Wednesday night, we went out to Steenberg Golf Course, where it was the Western Province Women's Golf Awards. Sarah Broad, the president of the Western Province Golf Association, and there were a number of dignitaries that were out there, Sylvia Rayner, Nadir Akhtaruddin, and of course Guy Reynolds, and folks were out there with a fantastic occasion. They sent us a couple of photographs, and thought we would share that with you. Right, folks, well, it's been a jam-packed show. Sports Federation TV, of course, trying to look after the federations in the Western Cape and make sure we give as much exposure as possible. It's been a great show from drum majorettes to Western racing and reining, in fact, and table tennis and football in Manenberg, and of course the Western Province Women's Golf Award. So it's been a great show. Remember, if you're a sports federation and you need some TV coverage, please send us your details. Go knock on one of the federation's doors in the Western Cape and get yourself onto SFTV. That's a wrap from us. We'll see you at Grand West. Make sure you come down there. As I said, it's the World Table Tennis Champs at the moment. You must come down and come and support your local South African teams. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have yourself a fantastic sporting weekend. Bye-bye.